All right, there's so much to power of goals, but the biggest power is the emotional power and drive behind it. Here goes. She talks about this really well.
And manifesting and achievement. I invite you to have something to take notes with and to capture this. And here's the funny thing, though, about goals is sometimes we might have resistance to goals or setting goals. We might have what I call some emotional scar tissue with the process, right? So for some of you, I say that right out of the gate because you might be saying, oh, I don't know about this, or I don't know about for goals for me, or I've done that before. I'm not sure if it worked. It's totally normal. If you probably at some point in your life, you've set goals that didn't happen, right? And therefore we have this.
The power of goals without the power of the Spirit and the grace of God can be very frustrating in this life. And it's so easy to be tripped up by Satan and his dominions.
Association to, do I really want to commit myself to that again and to perhaps feel that feeling of disappointment or discouragement? So stay with me, take a deep breath, and we're going to be in some powerful creation. There's a quote by Tony Robbins where he says this: success leaves clues. And when you study success, success is like a recipe, and there's several ingredients that will help you grow your business, that will help you be healthier and happier and have better relationships. I'm here to share with you today about one of those core success principles around goals that can help you grow your business, can help you grow your self-confidence, and any other goal that matters to you in your life. So enjoy, right? I'm looking forward to this time together today. I'm going to share with you 5 key things today that will help you in this process. So if you're ready to take some notes, I'm ready to lead you there. I also on my website have a full goal setting training program for complete free, no strings attached. If you want to download the full program, you can find that at tiffanyspeaks.com.
All right, tiffanyspeaks.com. I saw that, looked at it, made some notes on it. It's worth looking at.
Let's look at this. Number one, the very first thing about the power, again, of goals, and one of the ways that we help set ourselves up to win, that we're intentional about what we're creating. We're setting those milestones. We're moving ourselves forward, that we're in progression of the achievement of the very things that we want. Maybe for some of you, that's a rank advancement in your business, the growth of your volume. For some of you, that say, I want to be healthier this year, or I want to have better relationships or attract a significant relationship. But the very first strategy to having anything new that you want in your life is the power of clarity. I want you to write that down. Clarity is the engine behind, it's the fuel of helping you move towards a new experience, a new destination, new habits, new feelings, new outcomes for yourself. But clarity is power. And so I just invite us, we're going to do a little work here. We spend the most time in strategy number 1 around clarity on this content. But is looking at for yourself is simply looking at some questions like, what do you want? I know that might sound simple.
Now let me back up. On usethelight.com, my major focus is eternal, using eternal principles, eternal covenants, priesthood keys, actions, habits, desires that do not change over a long period of time. The closer we get to becoming like our Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, the more joy we're going to have, the more understanding we're going to have, the more power we're going to have to become divine perfected beings. This is the end goal. Business will help that. Success will help that. Covenants in the temple, priesthood keys will help that. Keeping the spirit, keeping virtue, keeping faith, keeping humility, being diligent, being humble, repenting and progressing spiritually will help you in all these areas. So what do you want? I want you to understand that the spiritual side will accelerate the financial, the relationship side, the goal setting side, all things of your life.
Right? Like asking that question, what do you want? But really sitting into that and asking and thinking about the various areas of your life, spiritually, financially, personally, relationships, your health, your contribution or giving back. Ask yourself, what do I want? And a key question I love to ask my coaching clients is the question, what do you want to feel more of? We often are pursuing any goal or change because we're after a feeling, right? We want to feel more confident, or we want to feel that feeling of self-mastery when we cross that finish line of a marathon.
God says, have joys in the labors of this day. Most of us do not appreciate this saying enough, but I promise you, as you will learn to work more and more with the Spirit and have an appreciation for how the gospel changes people's lives for the better, for eternity, there is great joy in the labors of this day, spiritually speaking.
Or we want to feel more confident or safe and secure if we're healthier in our financial lives. Or we want to feel that connection and that love in relationships. Or we want to feel that we matter, that we are significant. As humans, we have very similar feelings, and these feelings help drive those goals in the first place. So drop into that question first and foremost of, what do you want to feel more of? And I'm going to give you a couple of categories to look at that for yourself.
Again, knowing that God is there, that He's working with you, that He's answering your prayers, that He's accelerating your growth on all areas, but especially the spiritual and the relationship, eternal relationship area, the covenant area. These things have eternal powers and principles, far beyond wealth, far beyond success, far beyond just these earthly relationships.
But let's lean out first and foremost with your own personal health. All of you are in the business of helping people be healthier, right? This is the work you're up to in the world. But let's look at your own personal health first, is to invest in that vessel, is ask yourself, what do I want to feel more of related to my own health? And you're probably going to say something like, I want more energy. I want vitality. For me, my favorite word for myself is vivacious, is I want to feel more vivacious. Right? Thinking about that for yourself. You might say, gosh, I want to be more flexible, or I want to lose weight, or I want to have more confidence, or have the energy to play with my grandkids. Wherever you may be at whatever season of your life, is ask that question, what do I want to feel more of in my health? Right? Just get clear on some of those core desired feelings. And then from there is, what actions or activities help you have that feeling or help move you in the direction of that goal. But feelings are powerful because what we're feeling, we're activating. I invite you to write that down too. What you're feeling, you're activating. Is the power of your thoughts and the power of your emotions.
What we feel and understand will help us act, help us increase in faith, increase in action, increase in principles and powers and principalities that thinking, desiring, doing, saying, help us become more like our eternal, perfect nature wants us to. To know that God is there, real, and working with us every step of the way in every area of our life, if we'll work with Him and let Him. I know I keep coming back to these things, but this is bigger than, and I repeat this again, this is bigger than financial success. It's bigger than just relationships, earthly relationships. And it's bigger than your family, community, and your church, your nation, or this world.
And what we're activating in our thoughts and in our emotions absolutely helps put us in a more magnet position, if you will. Some of you have heard of this teaching, the law of attraction, or alignment, or moving yourself in that direction, getting in the flow. A lot of that has to do with, am I in alignment with, am I matching that very vibration? We live in a vibrational universe. Everything is energy. You are energy. And one of the most important investments you can make for your business to grow is you invest in your own energy. You're a walking testimonial, right? So as we look at this first area for yourself, is thinking about, what do I want to feel more of, and what actions or activities help me have that. Secondly, let's look at your business. What are some of your business goals? What do you want to feel more of in your business life? Ask yourself that question. What are the key feelings that you want in your business, in your career path? What do you want to feel more of? And then again, what actions, activities, or steps will help you move in that direction? I'll share mine personally. Is in my business life, being self-employed, I've been doing this for a little over 11 years, as a coach and a speaker and a trainer, I can't necessarily control when a sale happens. And that's pretty true for most of you as well. We can influence a sale and influence our business, but we can't control it. But I'm really clear there's 4 key desired feelings I want to feel on a regular basis with this clarity. I want
Okay, pay attention to this.
to feel productive. I want to feel creative. I want to feel that I'm adding value, and I want to connect with others. So think about that. If I'm living this regularly, where I'm focused on being productive and I'm creative. For me, that's creative. I might be creating a new podcast or a video or newsletter or social content or a new course or new program, something that I'm in that creative energy. But I'm regularly, if I'm productive and creative and focused on adding value, right? Showing up to add that value and connecting with other people. We're all in the relationship business, every single one of us. And so focusing on connections create contracts or clients, right? So do you see, as I'm modeling that, it's just a little bit, hopefully that's helpful for you, is that I focus on those core desired feelings as a way that helps me move forward in my business as well. So be clear for yourself too. What do you want to feel more of in your business? And then be about the actions and habits that help you create that. I also invite you to look at relationships. What do you want to feel more of in your relationships? Same thing as what actions or activities help you get there. I assume in relationships you're going to say, I want to feel connected, right? Whatever kind of relationship, whether it's your sweetheart, your kids, your network, your friendships, I want to feel connected. So what are some actions and activities that will lead you in that direction? Let's also look at financials, the financial side of your life, the money honey, if you will, right? That money side of your life. What do you want to feel more of as it relates to that for yourself? Common feelings come up here in the money category around freedom, abundance, generosity, security, peace. So become clear on that, matched with then what actions and activities help you move in that direction. You can go on to look at any other category that you'd like, your spiritual life, your contribution, your play, your fun, adventure, personal growth, various categories for yourself. But becoming more clear, again, this first strategy is, are you clear on what you want? Are you clear on what you want to feel more of? Because clarity is the beginning of creation. I'll say that one more time. Clarity is the beginning of creation. So when you say, I want something new, the power of being clear. In my corporate days for many years, I had the great fortune of working for Franklin Covey. And Dr. Stephen Covey's work, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And something that I learned from him that stuck with me all these many, many years is that all things are created twice. First, spiritually and mentally, and secondly, physically. There's always 2 creations happening. And so when we look at goal setting, another way of looking at goal setting is simply intentional creation. That you become the life architect of your life. That you say, okay, I'm a life architect. I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to have a blueprint about what I'm wanting to create, what I'm wanting to experience more of, and that I'm intentional about that I take the time to map it out versus I just become reactive and reactive living. Is this the power of goals is it puts us in that proactive creation space for ourselves. So looking at clarity, sitting with the questions, what do I want? Who do I want to be or become? It's a great question I love to look at. What do I want to manifest? What do I want to experience more of? How do I want to grow and expand this year? Personally, professionally, financially, and otherwise. But that's strategy number 1 is to spend time in clarity. If it's been a minute since you've done that, give yourself that gift. Cuddle up with maybe a cozy cup of tea or your favorite beverage and your journal and just sit some time into, I'm just going to ask myself, where am I going? Right? I mean, that's really the power of goals is, where are you going? Where do you want to go? Similar if wherever you're at right now today, you said, hey, I want to book a trip somewhere. Lots of ways to get there. But part of the power of taking the trip is that you know where you want to go. So take the time to get clear. Where are you going? What do you want? Why do you want it? That clarity will give you great fuel. When you're clear as well, a clear mind will act, where a confused mind tends to procrastinate. So get clear and take the time to invest in that, the clarity of what it is that you're after. Strategy number 2, I'm super passionate about. I've been teaching this a lot in the last 6 months, is the power of having effort-based goals. Effort versus the outcome. See, a lot of times in life, I love outcome, right? Have big vision. I love to say have big vision, dream big, but then have effort-based goals. So have the clear outcomes. Clear outcomes for you, that might sound like a rank advancement or doubling your sales this year or your income or losing X amount of weight or publishing that book finally you've been thinking about. Great outcomes. Absolutely. Put those on a vision board or have those declared somewhere in your life or share those with a close friend. Yes, have the outcome. But this is where most people get tripped up with goals is they're so attached to a specific outcome. And sometimes we set those pie in the sky, huge goals. Great. Again, set those big visions, but then have effort-based goals. Let me give you an example. You might have an outcome base that you want, say, with your health. And it has to do with losing weight, maybe being, more trim, more fit, or lower body fat percentage, something like that. Or maybe you want to run a marathon. These outcomes. Well, an effort-based goal would sound like I move my body every day. It's clear, it's specific, it's measurable, but you're into the habit and the effort. While you can influence the number on the scale and your percentages, right? There's dynamics. What you can directly control is to say, I eat and drink greens every day. I take my supplements every day. I move my body every day, right? Or I go to yoga once a week, or I do my meditation practice. You see what I'm saying? Is be focused on your regular efforts for your personal goals, your professional goals. Let's talk about this in your business too, right? I love, love, love helping people in direct sales just grow their business in massive ways. And a lot of the same principle that I help any one of them individually, I'm going to share with you right now, is to have very specific goals around effort-based goals. How many people are you going to connect with on a daily or weekly basis in your business? Being clear and intentional about that. Right? You're all in the people business, and the power of connecting and nourishing your network and nourishing your relationships. If you have great sales happening, you have well-nourished relationships, right? So think about that for yourself. Is rather than focused on the sales, yes, have those sales and those desires and those benchmarks that you move towards, but that you focus every day or every week on how many people do you connect with every week? From existing clients and existing customers that you're nourishing to brand new clients or new prospective customers that might be joining your business. That's something to consider is how many people am I nourishing? So similar to me, like I can't control, like I mentioned, when a sale happens, but I can control how much content do I put out a week? How much, value add am I reaching out and connections am I nourishing on a regular basis? And that's what you can control as well. So focus where your power is. Focus on the efforts. There's a great Zen proverb that says this: before enlightenment, chopping wood, carrying water. After enlightenment, chopping wood, carrying water. I love that.
Well, let's finish this. There are things beyond goals, subconscious wise, conscious wise, spirit wise. And they all need to work together. People that go beyond their own broken beings.
We could insert a sale in there. Before a sale, chopping wood, carrying water, right? Or before that rank advancement and after it is we're going to do a lot of chopping wood and carrying of water. The effort. We're out nourishing your garden. So be really clear on those effort-based goals. That will also take your power back where you are in the space of what you can directly control and directly influence. That is something that I think is super powerful. One of my favorite quotes I have to tuck in here too at this specific space is this quote by Robert Stevenson, where he says this: don't judge the day by the harvest you reap. Judge the day by the seeds that you plant. Isn't that so good, you guys? Like, that is rich. Can I get an amen, right? If you're at home or wherever you're at and watching this, an amen, hallelujah to that is that it's based on the seeds that you're planting. If you regularly plant the seeds, the harvest will come. But that's strategy number 2. That's a game changer. And again, where it will help many of you get unattached or to that old association or fear around goals perhaps is because you've always been so outcome focused. Come back to the habits. Come back to the efforts that you're making. That's where the power is and where you change the game. The third strategy I want to highlight for you today is the power of being progress oriented. Again, this is a little bit tacking on to the last one, but it deserves its own space here, is how often we've set goals that, again, are perfectionistic based. It's all or nothing. I got to do it perfect or forget it. Well, perfect is a joy stealer, my friends. Perfect and perfectionism, it's not real, but it traps you. It keeps you stuck. You know what perfectionism is known for? Is the waiting game. Is you get stuck at that train station of waiting. You're going to get ready 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 to really change your business, to really put yourself out there, to really go for it. But you're going to wait till it's perfect, or you lose that 10 pounds, or your graphics are perfect, or your website is perfect. You're after a feeling again, right? That I want to feel perfectly confident and secure before I move forward. Well, can we talk about the most important goal you could ever set is the goal and your intention becomes about progress. You make progress your most important goal to become progress-oriented. Progress equals happiness. Write that down from your notes. Tony Robbins also says that. I love that teaching is if you're progressing, think about it. When you're progressing, don't you feel fulfilled? And don't you feel like lit up about life? Because you're progressing, you're in it, you're making things happen. Yeah, you're progressing. So this is the third one. We want to focus on progress, not perfection. And I'm going to share with you a simple formula I learned from a gentleman named Raymond Aaron, incredible trainer out of Canada, where he talks about the MTO formula when it comes to setting goals. So write this down for me in your notes. M stands for minimum, T stands for target, O stands for outrageous. Minimum, target, and outrageous. And to have goals that fit into those categories. So like say the health and exercise goals. If you're not exercising at all right now, don't judge yourself. No need for that. But maybe you set the goal that minimum, you're going to get moving 3 times a week, right? Target might be 4. Outrageous for you right now might be 5 plus. It's a great way to set goals, is it keeps you checked into progressing, right? And some weeks you are going to hit that 4 and that 5 number. But the reality is to give yourself scalability to say, I'm progressing. You might also want to do that with your sales contacts and your connection calls and your reach outs. Minimum, you're going to connect with 10 people this week. Maybe target is 20 and outrageous might be 30 plus. For some of you might say, Tiff, my 30 is my minimum, right? And wherever you're at with your own business and what you're up to, but all the goals that you want to set from revenue and financials to relationship nourishment to your home and organization projects is to decide minimum, target, and outrageous. I find that is a powerful goal-setting strategy that keeps you, again, checked in to what you're creating. And isn't that what we want? Yes. We want progress. We want to see if we're staying checked in, you're going to see momentum. And momentum builds, and it builds. But if you miss a day or something goes off or, you get in a funk or something comes up that you got to handle, that it's not like, oh, forget it, all my goals are gone. Because again, when the perfectionist is running the show, which when you really think about what perfectionism is, my friends, all it is dressed up fear. It's like fear with a Gucci handbag. It's really pretty fear. It's haute couture fear. That's all it is. Because it makes you think like, oh, I got to be perfect. And I got to get ready to be perfect before I really go for what I want. If I waited to be perfect as a coach, as a speaker, as an author or a creator, we would never be here together. We would have never met in those past events because I'd still be there getting ready to get ready. And the power of the willingness to take what I love to call imperfect action to achieve your goals. That's a great question worth asking of yourself and writing down is, am I willing to take imperfect action to achieve my goals? But that's strategy number 3 is looking at becoming progress-oriented with your goals, with your intentions, with the things that you're working on. Strategy number 4, super, super juicy. Strategy number 4, potent in your success toolbox, is the power of visualization, right? How many of you have ever tried out visualization or if you have a vision board? I'm really curious to that. But that you've powerfully utilized your brain to create and see with intention what I love to call playing the movie. See, your mind sees in images and pictures right now. There's something I want you to try out with me. And if you're not driving, okay, because if you're driving, please keep your eyes open. But if you're not driving right now in this moment, just follow along. Let's play full out. I want you to go ahead and close your eyes for me. And in your mind's eye, I'd love for you to walk into your kitchen and from your fruit basket or bowl or wherever you keep fruits on your counter space or in your refrigerator, wherever you may keep this, I want you to imagine a bright, big, juicy lemon. And in your mind's eye, I want you to pick up that lemon wherever it's at, get out that cutting board and a sharp knife, and I want you to cut that lemon into 4 segments, right? Straight down the middle and then cut it again. So you've got 4 quadrants. And now I want you to pick up one of those quadrants, bright, juicy lemon, and I want you to put it in your mouth and bite down on it. And you can go ahead and open your eyes. Some of you literally just felt your mouth pucker or your saliva increase or just that feeling of like, ooh, I felt my jawline tighten up, right? Some of you may have not felt that, but you at least could see the imagery of what I was asking you to do. But some of you literally had a physical response to something your mind was just imagining. Your body legit responded to that image. Well, the power of your brain, loves, is you see in pictures. You see in images. One of the most powerful tools in that toolbox is this one that you can do is, again, remember when I said all things are created twice? First spiritually or mentally, and second physically, Stephen Covey's training. And so the power of visualizing it in your mind, you see yourself as if, like right now, see yourself happy. See yourself good, confident in a good space, that you feel good. Like breathe that into your body right now. You just take that right in, right? And then in your mind's eye, maybe you see yourself. You see yourself crossing that finish line at a race or a marathon, or you see yourself hiking somewhere, or you see yourself fit or connected and in love, or you see yourself at your next live convention crossing that stage, being recognized for your rank advancement in your work, or you see yourself connecting with a customer and a client, really helping them get their health goals dialed in for them.
The more you can vividly detail these things and put emotion behind it, mental emotion behind it, visual emotion behind it, and voice emotion behind it, these things connect a very powerful state. And they also, when you speak it, it works on the subconscious.
And that the products that you have, which are so first class, can I just say, I love Nature Sunshine products. I love what you guys are about. But imagine yourself helping more people. See what I'm saying? Is I just want you practicing the power of visualization. Now, some of you may even want to create a vision board. You can do that on Pinterest, on digital apps. You can do a physical board and you cut out pictures, things that just represent who you're becoming. Maybe pictures, symbols, words, images that represent who you're becoming, what you're moving towards. But the power of visualization and seeing it play out in your mind. Now, sports psychologists and sports athletic teams have been doing this process for years and years. It's not new to them. You ask the golfer, how many times do you see yourself, taking the swing? Or the basketball team and players. And there's been lots of studies on this as well. It's those that absolutely, yes, they practice the physical craft of their sport, but then they also mentally rehearse. Mental rehearsal is another word for visualization. They mentally rehearse seeing themselves doing the thing they love to do. And they see the result that they want. They see the outcome, right? They visualize the feeling of it. They drop into that energy. This is one of the most powerful ways to juice up energetically the goals and the desires and the intentions that you have. I love this one. So rich, so juicy. You'll have to reach out to me. Find me on social media or my website. I want to hear how you're applying these things and the differences that you're seeing. Let's talk about number 5, final and number 5 strategy for this goal setting, this conversation that I think is so important. And I've touched on it already just a bit, is the power of taking action, right? My loves, great coaching, no matter who's giving it, right? Great coaching, great books and podcasts. I love them. I consume them regularly. But no matter who's doing the teaching, great coaching doesn't change your life. What changes your life are the actions that you take. So ask yourself in this moment, what actions do I need to take? And you can, again, look through those categories for better relationships, for a healthier body, for a more thriving business, right? Any of these categories in your life, what actions do you need to take? I'm going to ask that while we're here in this live time, as you're catching this, to go ahead for each area of your life, write down 2 to 3 actions you can start to take right now that will help you progress and move forward. See, the thing about being a human being is you're powerful. You absolutely are a powerful creative being. 1,000%. You have the ability of agency or choice, and what we choose to act on and what we choose to move forward is entirely up to you. Sometimes as humans, we might have wishful thinking, which isn't really goal setting. It can help us maybe get in the direction of the things we wish for and hope for, yes. But the power of change comes from when we make choices and when we make decisions. We're not going to stumble into an amazingly healthy, fit body. We're not going to stumble into a great marriage. You're not going to stumble into great self-confidence and great self-care or stumble into a thriving, rocking business. If you want any of those things in your life, they come with decisions and intentions and actions, right? So it's asking yourself, this is one of my favorite questions for you to look at, is what decisions do I need to make? Ask yourself that. Think about that for yourself. You are a powerful creator, and all creation, again, begins with this clarity. So as you work through these steps, you spend some time journaling, asking and getting clear, what do I want? What do I want to feel more of? What do I want to experience? Who do I want to become this year? Personally, professionally, financially. Looking at for yourself your habits, your effort-based goals, and committing to those as practices. Not perfect, of course, as number 3 highlights for us, but we're focused on progress and maybe setting some of those goals, minimum target and outrageous. And then one of our habits, perhaps, that you're focusing on, maybe part of your morning ritual, part of your personal development time, is to visualize and to see yourself as if you're already the man or the woman that you want to be, the results that you want to see, that we play out that movie. In your mind, that powerful little movie that you're making is to get intentional about it. We're all storytellers. Just get intentional about the stories you're telling and the things you're visualizing and the things you're seeing, because it's who you're becoming. And no matter where you're at right now and whether life is thriving and rocking or you're in a really challenged spot or somewhere in between, being a human in this journey is you have the power to change. And that 5th one, again, the power of taking action. And as you heard me say, are you willing to take imperfect action to achieve your goals? Final quote I just want to wrap up with for our session here today. One of my favorite quotes, and that's hard for me to say. I have a lot of them, right? One of my favorite quotes of all time comes from a gentleman named Foster Hubbard. And he says this: doing isn't difficult, deciding is. Ask yourself, what decisions do I need to make? Maybe it's recommitting to that self-care and that morning ritual, or recommitting or setting out specific goals with how many people you're going to nourish this next week or this next month. Things you're going to do to declutter the house, or that creative project you've been wanting to launch, or that relationship you know needs some love and attention. Ask yourself and then honor and move it forward of what decisions do I need to make. Again, if you want to download my full goal-setting training process, you can find that at tiffanyspeaks.com, completely free. It's an audio and a workbook that will help support you in your process. But it's such a joy to be back here with you with the Nature Sunshine family. Thanks for having me, and I'm cheering you on for a thriving, exceptional, incredible year.
All right, Nature Sunshine and goals. Notice how the state is, your physical state is, your emotional state is, as you picture these things. And notice how you get excited about doing these things and then returning. So again, this thing of pitching, seeing it, visualizing it, write it down, visualize it, speak it, do it, turn back and report and return on it, and repeat the whole process. Visualizing it, speaking it, doing it, reporting on it, and continuing that process, and rejoice in that system of reporting and returning and doing and returning. In small, significant ways of working on those areas in your life, you find that business will help you move in all those areas and improve in all those areas, and so will the spirit. There's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana, saying, choose to use the light. Use the light. Use the spirit in your life. Use goals as you do this. Return a report to God and the spirit and to yourself and others. And encourage others to do the same. So we can become better individually, better as a team, better as a group, better as an organization, and better as a home, community, and world. In Jesus Christ's name, catch a vision of this. It's wonderful. Good day.